Alright, so I ranked every episode of Smiling Friends Season 1, and I said if that video hit 2 3/4 likes, I'd rank every episode of Season 2, and I mean, technically it never did because that's impossible, and I'm gonna do it anyway. Okay, so starting off with...
I love turn on the TV to hit the Pentagon!
Mr. President. Wow, how epic and topical. Unless you're watching this in the future, then it's not really. Unless you watch this on November 7th, 2028. Comment if you're watching this on November 7th, 2028. Our boys Pim and Charlie are tasked with helping this guy, the president. And he's kinda just disgusting to look at. Like, I'm sorry, and no offense to the actor, I'm not talking about how he looks, but he's fucking constantly covered in disgusting, sticky looking sauce. And whenever he moves, he like squelches, and I get that's the point, but it's like gross to watch and listen to. That's mostly why this is in 8th place, since, you know, he's like the main focus of the episode, and having the main focus of your episode be uncomfortable to watch isn't really great. Aside from that though, this is a pretty good episode. I don't really care about politics. I mean, I literally didn't know who the UK's president was until 3 months ago. I live there. So I'm glad that Smiling Friends didn't go the route of other adult animation and do loads of political humour that just isn't funny. This had 3 fucking seasons, by the way.
Dude, check the news. It doesn't matter what channel.
Oh my god, they referenced it.
I love turn on the TV to hit the Pentagon! To hit the fucking Pentagon! Turn on TV, it doesn't matter what channel.
10 out of 10 reference, wow. Also, Mr. Frog makes his grand return and becomes president, and Gleb gets doxed on TV. Sex. Green. This is actual peak. Anyway, now moving on to...
And the only reason we don't see them that often is because they cannot get through the damned glass dome protecting the flat earth.
Charlie, Pim and Bill versus the alien. I liked this episode. Oh yeah, it's probably important that I say that like my previous ranking, I like all these episodes. They're all good. I'm just putting them in order of which are best. So if something is in 8, it doesn't mean it's dog shit. But anyway, moving on. Pim takes Charlie to meet these guys, Bill, Fillmore and Duncan. Fillmore and Duncan were actually seen at the Halloween party last season. Fun fact. So these guys hunt for aliens by sitting around and waiting for aliens to show up. I love this guy because he's kind of insane.
Yes. Nonsense! They're demons from another dimension! And the only reason we don't see them that often is because they cannot get through the damned glass dome protecting the flat earth.
But then when the actual UFO shows up, he says this.
Oh my god, it's real! I was just fucking around before, oh my god, it's a real UFO!
Which, since he said they may have seen a UFO in 2013, implies that he's been in this club for over a decade as a joke. This man was committed to the bit and I respect that. Also, the post-credit scene features him again, and now we know he's telling the truth, but he still sounds insane. Which is another example of Smiling Friends doing a joke where the setup and the payoff are very far apart, so you're not expecting it and it's made funnier because of that. Oh yeah, then Pim, Charlie and Bill get kidnapped by aliens and Bill is killed. Rip Bill, rest in pepperonis, bro. But now Pim and Charlie try to escape and run into these fellas who act like normal people, which is both funny but also makes sense like when you think about it. We're aliens too, to the aliens, and you know, we act like normal people. Most of us. So it would really only make sense that aliens would act like normal people too. So they go to the epic alien party and then want to go home, but these guys will only let them go home if they destroy this alien planet, with thousands of innocent creatures on it as a lit prank. This will be YouTube pranks in like 20 years, I'm calling it. This would get like 500k likes from 8-year-olds on TikTok. But it turns out it was just an empty planet and now they're being arrested. And Pim and Charlie run and escape on a stolen UFO where they see the Earth is truly flat and has a glass dome around it. Logan Paul was right.
The Earth is flat. The Earth is flat. People around the globe know the Earth is flat.
Which, again, it's the same thing of the setup and the punchline being further apart, which is funny. Also, the description of this episode is the plot of Mars Needs Mums, a movie no one's seen.
You two now have the privilege of helping the one, the only, Jared Fogle!
Brother's egg. So Pim and Charlie are tasked with helping, oh thank god. They need to help this guy, Professor Psychotic, to create life from an egg. And then this guy, who is his brother, Doug, comes in and they argue about the fact that he's too loud, and I just love that Pim and Charlie are like standing there awkwardly the whole time while they argue, and then Charlie just like starts to play with his jumper's little things and they just wait for it to be over, and eventually Doug kicks Professor Psychotic out. Also, Pim and Charlie speak Spanish in this episode, so Pim goes to talk to Professor Psychotic's brother, who is working 14 hours a day so they can have a place to live, and he agrees to meet and talk with Professor Psychotic, and Charlie goes to speak with Professor Psychotic, who also agrees to talk with his brother, and they talk and it ends up like this. And then, when all hope seems lost, the egg hatches and whatever this thing is comes out, and they make up and agree to take care of this homunculus. Oh yeah, this is supposed to be a reference to this video, so that's pretty cool. Okay, so the first thing I have to mention is the animation. They got Joel Harver to do the animation and also voice for Doug, and he looks pretty freaking sweet. Also, when the two fight at the end, they're both animated in style, and it looks even freaking sweeter. Oh yeah, and their mother might be from Spantopia, just judging by the way she looks. I'm just guessing. This is a pretty good episode with a good story that's easy to understand. I especially like this scene just for Charlie's reaction.
Hello, I am Professor Psychotic. I'm making a name with my DNA in my evil laboratory. I really thought that would work.
How could that ever work?
Also, Charlie seems to know all the good places to eat. Like, he knows this restaurant, whatever it is, and he knew about Salty's. Also, whatever this is was animated by Cool 3D World, which is like a channel that makes strange 3D videos on YouTube. That's all I really have to say. I don't have much of more. Onwards we go.
Welcome to Scantopia. Please enjoy your stay. There's one thing we'll hear, so please obey.
Ooh, this one was very controversial when it released. You see, the fan favourite and arguably most popular character of the series, Tyler, is fired, which caused major backlash as Tyler had been there from the very beginning of the show. I mean, first small move, now this, SMH. But ignoring this fact, this episode is about Pim and the boss going to Spamtopia to pick up a magical red jewel, and Pim is the only one who can speak Spanish, so he has to come, which is also the language the Fun Twins spoke in Season 1, and so it explains how Pim was able to understand them when Charlie couldn't. When Mr. Boss leaves, he leaves his 18-year-old son Jason, with Charlie, Allan and Gleb. It was this guy from Season 1, remember? They brought him back, and he immediately just fucking dies. And also, Charlie brings up the fact that he didn't like Allan sucking his nose back in the Desmond episode in Season 1. But Charlie actually pulled Allan in and specifically stated, "Come here, Allan, you crazy character," and also laughed. So what's up with that? But back to the fact that Jason is dead. Charlie then tries to revive him, but it doesn't work. Anyway, back in Spamtopia, this insane land of vibrant colours and gibberish speaking creatures, Pim and Mr. Boss are greeted with this song that essentially tells them not to look anyone in the eye. Long story short, Pim does, and they are about to be executed when Pim says a Spanish prayer that his pen pal, who we mentioned earlier, told him. And as it turns out, Pim's Spanish pen pal was the guy who was going to execute them, and so he changes his ways and declares no more rules. And they all lived happily ever after. No, I'm kidding, there's now no laws in this place, so obviously that didn't end well. And the Spamtopians start looting and killing each other, so Pim and Mr. Boss get out of there, having successfully obtained the red jewel, where they are told the unfortunate news of Jason's death. Ripping pizza, Jason. But it's all good because the magical red jewel revives him into a butterfly that starts releasing dust, and then the episode ends. Spamtopia is actually such an insane and chaotic place, so you know, it fits right in Smiling Friends. Is that the Premiere Pro Media missing screen? That might have been intentional, might not, but either way it fits. It's cool that they brought back Jason, since he kind of just appeared in that one Season 1 gag, and then never again. And that awkward part where Charlie confronts Allan was also so silly and goofy. Also, can't forget their fight. Gleb says skibbity in this. I also love how the guy speaks English anyway, so Pim never even needed to be there.
Oh, Allan, hello. Fancy rallying you here.
Allan Adventure. So Allan is given the simple sounding task of finding some paper clips. We get to see lots of Allan, like this guy has more screen time in this episode than in all of Season 1. It seems like they forgot to use him in Season 1 and so made this entire episode in order to make up for that, and it does. We get to meet Allan's landlord, who just wants to hang out with him and smoke weed and fill their bellies with diet soda and play Burnout Revenge for the PS2. This will be important, so our boy Allan goes to the shop to find paperclip, where he gets into a funny little realistic argument with this six-armed guy. But it turns out they're all out of paperclips. They do have clipless paper though, so Allan has to go to the very dangerous area of Crimeville, where there's lots of crime, and finds this store where this guy is unwilling to give away his paperclips because they are perfect for tinkering with any device, until Allan points out that he could just use his nose, and he finally gets the paperclips. Then, the greatest rapper of our generation makes his return and epically phantom taxes the paperclips before fleeing in a helicopter. And holy shit, look at the animation on this. Like, goddamn, Adult Swim clearly bumped up the budget for Season 2. Get ready for every other Adult Swim show to look like 12-ounce mouths from now on, because they spent their whole budget on Smiling Friends. Anyway, now the actual US military strikes down DJ Spit's helicopter and they crash land in a forest, where Allan's paperclips are stolen by this Bigfoot guy. So Allan tries to get them back until he is caught. But it's all good because the Bigfoot gets decapitated. And oh no, now the skeleton pirates stole them. So Allan goes after them in a little boat and then they get eaten by this thing. Allan stabs it and gets blown out, and a reminder, this is about Allan. Just try to get some paper clips. Anyway, he then gets the paper clips, but inside is wait, Look at his realistic handler now. Oh yeah, there's a letter telling him to come to an address, and the address is in his apartment. And guess who's there when he shows up? It's the landlord. It turns out he was the one who organised all this, because he just wants to play Burnout Revenge with Allan. Allan doesn't want to, and I mean, fair enough. But the landlord has a bomb strapped to his chest, so, you know, Allan kind of has to, until he remembers that the paper clips are perfect for tinkering with any device. Also, this guy's dead. Rip bro. So Allan defuses the bomb, and the landlord kills himself. The end. Oh yeah, can't forget about the realistic conversation of the mini boss figure. We've all been given something we don't want. It's just like, this conversation's so real. Anyway, this is like an insane episode. I love things where it starts from the most basic premise, in this case Allan having to get paper clips, and it just escalates to an insane degree. In this case, you know, it's all this. It's just hilarious to see how it keeps topping itself, and it's done very well. I already mentioned the animation, but it's improved greatly this season.
Hey, whoa, it's okay. It's okay, Mr. Rotten.
Pim finally turns green. Pim does not in fact turn green in this episode, but oh well. It's another Christmas episode, which, like the last one, didn't come out at Christmas, but the end takes place in June when it did come out. Wowzers. So Pim puts a nuclear toxic flower on this snowman, which brings him to life, and also the snowman's voiced by Dana Snyder, who voices Shake in Aqua Teen Hunger Force, and so they sound the same. Anyway, Pim has fun with his new snowman friend, until Pim informs Rotten the snowman that he will die, and now he's freaking out. So it's up to the smiling friends to explain the concept of death to the goofy little snowman. So, you know, the natural next thing to do is call up Bill Nye, the science guy, who assists in explaining the concept of death to Rotten before, dying. Rip Bill Nye, test science guy. Yeah, you would have loved GTA 6, bro. So yeah, basically that didn't work, so Pim and Charlie just leave him on this mountain, where he will die in 1,000,000 years, so he just, you know, keeps on screaming. And all is good until this Yeti voiced by Chris O'Neill shows up, and is pissed off because the smiling friends left this screaming snowman that won't shut up on his mountain. So Pim shoves him in that freezer where he will quote unquote never die and live forever and ever, which is what, you know, they tell him, because otherwise. But Rotten becomes sad because, I mean, he's not doing anything, he just sits in this freezer all day. So he goes to the beach with the gang, where we see the return of iconic character Marge Simpson, no relation, and then cooked shrimp guy knocks over the cooler Rotten was in, and my guy becomes the ocean. Wow, what a happy little ending. Until Rotten eats a ship and like causes a tsunami. Alright, so this is a good episode. Wow, truly insane opinion there. Me. You said that about every one of them. But I like how in the middle of the episode the smiling friends get hit with like a massive dopamine rush and are just like smiling and laughing. Charlie's like, today's a great day to be a smiling friend. So the smiling friends finally became smiling friends. Also, I mentioned it before, but the animation has increased greatly. Look at Pim ice skating. That's freaking sweet. Thank you Adult Swim for giving smiling friends more money. I also like Rotten's voice, especially his scream. Like mentioned before, he shares the same voice actor as Master Shake, and I think it fits this character really well. Also, when the boss pulls a gun out in Rotten's face and he just stands there like this, it's because he doesn't know what death is, but he just, I don't know, he's not super happy, but he's not sad, and it's well, just not the reaction to, well, this. But yeah, he's also claymation, which is always cool to see. I love claymation, and seeing it here and also it being blended into the world so well is neat. Moving on to our sponsor, me. Again, I made a show called Our Stupid School, and you can watch it for free now in this corner or on the end screen. Also, merch at ourstupidschool.com. Now, second place, and also the reveal of first place.
No, I've got to go to my Dr. Monster's appointment with Dr. Monster.
The boss finds love. Whenever I read this, I read it in Zach's voice. I don't know how to explain, like, Anyway, we meet the second fifth smiling friend, Jumbo. And then the boss gets married to this demon called Brittany. Probably not a good idea to marry a demon. Actually, scratch that. Spoilers, it's not a good idea to marry a demon. But, oh well. She starts to decorate Smiling Friends HQ with all this type of shit, and it looks awful. You know for a fact she'd have one of these bad boys in her house. I mean, she put a goddamn live, laugh, love sign in the office. Jesus Christ. Anyway, the Smiling Friends realize something is up when they go to see the boss, and well, for one, he looks like this, but also he's acting strange, and he wants to end the Smiling Friends to create Brittany's beautiful demonic flowers. How suspicious. And also he made Glep do gardening, and everybody knows Glep hates gardening. How also suspicious. So realizing something is up, they go to Charlie's apartment to research the demon, and my guy's looking after goddamn Tora the android for his uncle, which I mean would make Charlie's uncle this guy potentially, but also that's a sick reference, never thought I'd see that on TV. But then Pim finds out that she's a Philia diabolus demon, the daughter of Satan, and that the Smiling Friends will be owned by Satan once she kills Mr. Boss and owns all his stuff. I also love how Allan just says gasp instead of actually gasping. Anyways, then they soy face at the screen, so their goal now is to kill the boss's wife, and so Charlie finds out how to kill her on YouTube, and oh my god, it's the Nostalgia Critic, and he does his intro except he plays Daniel the Demon Slayer. I love how his sponsor segment is literally like the entire nearly 9-minute video. See, you guys should appreciate that mine was like 18 seconds. But Charlie skips it and they find out that they must drain its blood to kill it. Specifically on a full moon, and it just so happens to be a full moon tonight. Luckily, the second, fifth, potentially but never officially smiling friend, Jumbo, sold Charlie a knife, which they will now use to kill the boss's wife. So off the gang go, and when they get there, Allan delivers the greatest line in all of media.
No, I've got to go to my Dr. Monster's appointment with Dr. Monster.
What does it mean? I don't know, but it's hilarious and a phrase I keep saying to random people who, I mean, probably haven't seen Smiling Friends and won't know what I'm on about, but it's fun to say. Anyway, Pim and Charlie go into the house, and whoever did this pop while they're in the house, let them cook. These shots look fire, seriously, look at this one. So they try to stab Brittany, and it doesn't work because Jumbo's knife is fake, and Brittany's all like, "Were you trying to kill me? Do you not like me?" And then they're like, "No, you're evil, you're the daughter of Satan." And it's so casual, I appreciate this piece of dialogue. Anyway, she jumps out the window and kills herself. So all is good and the boss is fine. Also, this scene now makes it so that the only smiling friend to not appear naked is Pim, because Allan and Gleb don't wear clothes and Charlie was naked back in season 1 episode 8, and now Mr. Boss is naked, so I don't know, fun fact I guess. Anyways, it ends with the boss singing about how he adores his employees. Now, I still found this scene funny without knowing it was a reference to this, which is how you should do a reference to something like an internet thing or meme. Don't have the entire joke be, "Oh guys, look, we referenced the meme."
Ray William Johnson.
Have the joke actually be able to work on its own, because otherwise most people won't find it funny. Like, the joke here is that he's singing in a weird voice and it's a weird song. You don't need the context to get that. I also like Allan's high-pitched scream, especially since it contrasts the fact that he speaks like this. Also, when Charlie is like pissed that he got jump scared at the end, oh, so it's okay when it happens to other people but not you, Charlie. Charlie, more like hypocrite. There's no joke there, it sounded like there should be, but oh well. Now time to reveal the number 1 spot. I mean, you could use process of elimination to work it out, but oh well.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
The first episode of the season, which technically means it started with its best episode and all the rest were worse, but whatever. So iconic character Gwimbly is outside the Smiling Friends building and Allan is spraying him with dirty brown water. And I mean, Gwimbly blew up after this episode. He has a Know Your Meme page, that's how you know you've made it. Everyone just gaslit people into believing Gwimbly was an actual PS1 era game like Gex or Croc. And there were people who legit thought it was real, and there will still be people out there who have never seen Smiling Friends and just believe, "Oh yeah, Gwimbly for PS1, I know about that." And that's funny. But he's essentially a video game character from like the late 90s who hasn't had a game in years, and now he's broken and popular. So he does like cameo and stuff, and look at the realistic Smiling Friends HQ when he does this. That's funny. Anyway, Pim wants to help Gwimbly, Charlie doesn't. Charlie never does, to be fair. So it's a Pim and Allan adventure, and off they go whilst Charlie stays in the office. Then this guy James shows up. Wait, James?
James from Idaho.
Oh my god. Is this James from Idaho? Anyway, he abuses the fact that the Smiling Friends have to help anyone smile and can't say no no matter what, which, I mean, is not a good idea. Episode 5 shows that. But anyway, back to Allan, Pim, and Gwimbly. They arrive at the game studio, who also made Mouse Quest. See? Look, that's Shrimp's username. Holy guacamole. Anyway, they have a meeting with the CEO of every goddamn game company ever.
Now it's all DLC and microtransactions and fuck you. Do you want a chicken nugget?
Oh yeah, this guy constantly dips chicken nuggets in sauce and eats them. Just a detail I want to mention. And he won't give Gwimbly another game, so Gwimbly goes off to make his own game. Now, since this is every goddamn game company ever, you're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to make your own game with the IP they're not even doing anything with. So he takes his new character with him to get Gwimbly, and Charlie is in a maid outfit cooking a casserole for James, who then rips his nose off. Fun. Anyway, they go try find other characters from the Gwimbly franchise, and the villain is busy and Mr. Millipede is dead. Rip Mr. Millipede, you would have loved Gwimbly Theft Auto 06. Anyway, the CEO catches up to them and off they go until they make it back to Smiling Friends HQ and James kills the CEO. Love how he dips the nugget in his blood and then dies. Rip bro. And then Gwimbly joins Smash Bros, or whatever this is called, with this guy, this clay thing, and the boss. The end. So it's a nice story with a good A and B plot that end up meeting well in the end. I like Gwimbly's design literally being animated like an actual PS1 character and all his lines being compressed, especially when he clips clips the mic.
Oh, I swear to God, if I had my Gwimbly gun on me right now!
Now, I don't understand how video games work in this world, since these are real people and they can't make a game because Mr. Millipede is dead, but the old games still work, so I guess it's like how movies work. Add Gwimbly to Fortnite, that the game's dead anyway, you might as well. But yeah, this is the best episode of the season, and not just because it has Charlie in a maid outfit and Allan saying dirty brown water. The representation of the video game CEO is accurate to every goddamn company. And so that concludes Season 2 ranking. Like I've mentioned many times, the animation in Season 2 has improved from Season 1. And I mean, Season 1 was really good, so it's clear that after seeing the success of Season 1, Adult Swim bumped up the budget. Also, the line art looks a little thinner. This second season manages to keep up the same level of quality as the first season had. My only complaint? It's a little short. 8 11-minute episodes is only like 88 minutes in total, but you know, you'd rather be given a coupon for 1 free Michelin star burger that tastes amazing, or 50 Burger King burgers. Yeah, see, quality over quantity. And who knows, maybe we'll get Smiling Friends Go to Japan or something. I mean, it has been renewed for Season 3, so like if you want me to rank that when it comes out. Anyway, since I've ranked both seasons, here's my ranking of both combined. Bye.